Right before the SATs, my deskmate gave me a good luck charm. But I just turned around and tossed it into the fish tank, because I knew that charm could swap two people's brains. In my past life, I was so happy to take that charm to the SATs, but in the exam room, I couldn't understand questions I knew. My deskmate, though, aced it, scoring an insane 400 points higher than usual, and became the top scorer. I didn't even get into community college. And on top of that, rumors spread that my usual good grades were all thanks to cheating. My mom even had a heart attack over my SAT disaster. It wasn't until I was at my mom's funeral that my deskmate smugly told me the truth. Too little, too late. This time, I'm swapping his brain with a fish's. I wonder if he'll enjoy a 7-second memory span? Maya, the SATs are almost here. I went way out of my way to get this good luck charm for you. My deskmate, Liam, handed me a triangular yellow paper charm. I stared at the charm, stunned. What was going on? Wasn't I dead? This familiar scene. I was reborn. When I didn't take it right away, Liam looked a little annoyed. I went to a lot of trouble to get this. If you don't want it, fine. Liam made a show of taking it back, expecting me to stop him. I watched his little act, not moving a muscle. Liam looked pretty awkward, clutching the charm, his face tight. That's when I finally smiled. Seeing me smile, Liam quickly shoved the charm into my hand. I knew you were just messing with me. I didn't refuse. I clutched the charm tightly. Last time, Liam gave me this charm, and it ruined my SATs. Not only did people say my past scores were fake, but my mom also had a heart attack from the stress. And he, the guy who was always at the bottom of the class, became the top scorer. It was when I was guilt-ridden, arranging my mom's funeral, that he came over, pretending to offer condolences, and I found out. Turns out the charm he gave me could swap two people's brains. That's why I couldn't answer the questions on the SATs. My eyes were red with rage. I lunged at him, wanting to take him down with me, but he shoved me hard to the ground. Candles tipped over, and the funeral hall went up in flames. I opened my eyes, and somehow, I was back at the moment I first got the charm. I looked at Liam, my smile widening. Well then, thanks for the good luck charm. Back home, I immediately tossed the charm into the fish tank. The little fish in the tank blew bubbles, looking pretty clueless. You like swapping brains, huh? How about a fish's 7-second memory? Liam and I had known each other for 12 years. Growing up, I was always that kid, the one everyone else was compared to. School, tests, my grades were never outside the top 3. Liam was the complete opposite. His grades were always terrible. At every parent-teacher conference, my mom would speak as the parent of a top student, while Liam's mom would be one of those parents, asked to stay behind for a chat. At first, Liam's mom was pretty chill about it. She always said boys were late bloomers, that he'd catch up in a few years. But as time went on, the gap between Liam and me just got wider. Liam's mom couldn't sit still anymore. She started signing him up for tons of tutoring, but it didn't seem to help. She spent a lot of money, and Liam's grades got even worse. I don't know when it started, but after every exam, Liam would definitely get a beating at home. I once asked Liam if he ever blamed me. He just shrugged it off. My brain's just not built for it. No matter how hard I try, I can't beat you. Besides, my bad grades are my problem, not yours, right? I used to think we'd be friends forever. Last time, when he came to my mom's funeral to gloat, I asked him in disbelief, "Why would you do this?" Liam's face twisted with rage. "Because it's not fair. Why is your brain so smart, and mine so dumb? I study all night, and still don't learn as much as you do in 10 minutes during break. Why should a girl like you always be outdoing me?" So he'd been resenting me all along. My mom was right. If only I could swap brains with you. No need to study hard, and I can easily be the top SAT scorer. Your brain is great, and soon it'll be mine. The memory of Liam's wild laughter froze in my mind. I dug my nails into my palms, leaving marks. This time, I'm swapping your brain with a fish's. I wonder, with only 7 seconds of memory, will you still feel resentment? To stop Liam from getting suspicious, I bought an identical good luck charm online and wore it on my wrist. Sure enough, Liam visibly relaxed when he saw it. A corner of his mouth twitched up. This charm is really powerful. Make sure you wear it all the time. I gave a non-committal shrug and flashed the charm on my wrist. If this charm is so precious, what if I lose it when I'm on class chores later? Liam's expression flickered. Then wear gloves while you do it. I put on a troubled look. Nah, that's too much hassle. I'll just take the charm off. When I started to untie the red string, Liam couldn't sit still. I'll do your chores. It's just chores, right? You focus on studying, leave the rest to me. I said, oh, and then casually assigned him the tasks of buying my lunch and fetching water too. By the end of the day, I had Liam running around in circles for me. Maya, isn't that enough? I'm really exhausted. Liam panted as he set down a desk I'd asked him to move from an old classroom in the next building. Nope. I jiggled the desk, looking displeased. This one's wobbly. Forget it, I'll just use my old one. Liam hadn't even caught his breath when he heard my demonic whisper, move the desk back. It'll look bad if the teacher comes and sees this mess. Liam looked like he was about to explode, but I just lifted my hand, the good luck charm clearly visible on my wrist. Fine, if you won't help. I guess I'll have to do it myself. Sigh, I was hoping to get a few more practice tests done. Wasting time like this means less time for studying. Hey, no, Liam said anxiously. I'll help you. I'll do it, okay. He resignedly picked up the desk, not forgetting to tell me to focus on my practice tests before he left. Watching Liam's retreating back, the kid behind me leaned in, all gossipy. Wow, you've got him trained like a dog. I smiled faintly. He's doing it willingly. Just then Liam, who had forgotten the key to the old classroom, ran back and overheard our conversation. His face turned ugly. The kid behind me shut up. I pretended nothing was wrong and tossed him the key. Hurry back. In my past life, after Liam got beaten because of me, I felt incredibly guilty. I used to do all these errands for him. People in class even joked I was his dog. Back then, I wanted to talk to Liam and clear things up. But Liam said, "Why do you care what other people say? As long as we know it's not true, that's all that matters." Now that he's the one being treated like a dog, I'm sure Liam won't mind either, right? It had been 2 weeks since Liam gave me the good luck charm. Liam was no longer resentful and defiant like at the beginning. He'd become proactive in doing whatever I told him. The charm's effect was starting to kick in. Liam, you didn't hand in your homework again. The math teacher rapped his ruler on the lectern. Liam stood up, looking aggrieved. Teacher, I really did it, I just forgot it at home. Forgot it at home? How many times is that this week? Go stand outside. Liam dejectedly went to stand in the hallway. I touched the charm on my wrist and thought to myself, looks like the charm is even stronger than in my past life. Maybe because the target is different, the effect is different? Theory comes from practice. Back home, I took the good luck charm out of the fish tank. Liam, get me those breakfast buns from downtown tomorrow morning, I said, not holding back. The next day, I had hot, steaming buns for breakfast. Back home again, I tossed the charm back into the fish tank. Liam, you'll never get into college in your entire life. Liam, on the other end of the phone, completely lost it and asked what I meant. I just hung up on him with a click. 7654321. Liam, I want those egg tarts from 3rd Street. An hour later, the egg tarts arrived. So that's how it works. I savored the sweet egg tart, my smile growing wider. If a 7-second memory can be controlled, then there are even more ways to play this game. Liam's very generous. Even if he gets super angry, he'll forgive me by tomorrow. Our classmates saw me bossing Liam around, and yet, the next day Liam would still be running errands for me. They started to get antsy, wanting to try it too. Liam was the principal's son after all. How often do you get a chance to mess with a kid like that? At first, they only dared to ask Liam to fetch things for them. Later, it escalated to making him do their homework and class chores. In just 1 week, they became completely unrestrained. What happens when stressed-out high schoolers find an easy target who just takes it? When Liam came out of the bathroom limping, I knew it was time. That night, I took the good luck charm out of the fish tank and didn't put it back for several days. The people who'd been bullying Liam, thinking they could keep getting away with it, were in for a rude awakening. Watching the few of them kneeling on the ground, kowtowing and begging Liam for mercy, I felt a surge of satisfaction. In my past life, when Liam spread rumors that I cheated. These were the very same people who provided false testimony. From the moment I thought up this game, I knew these kinds of people, the ones with no bottom line, would be the first to jump in. It was Maya. One of the kneeling students got agitated when he saw me. Maya said we could bully you all we wanted. Liam turned to look at me. I gave him a brilliant smile. That's crap. Maya has been looking out for me, comforting me. Liam's voice was firm. It's true. Ask the others if you don't believe me. The guy was still struggling. I spoke up. Since he's so determined to slander me, why don't we ask the others? I put on an air of magnanimity, as if I also wanted to clear my name. The students who weren't involved were taken to the office one by one for questioning. The answers were all consistent. I only ever said Liam was very generous. The kneeling student slumped to the ground, completely devastated, muttering, "How could this happen?" The day they were expelled and left, I stood at the top of the stairs watching them go. One student looked back. I mouthed something at him, and he ran off as if he'd seen a ghost. What I mouthed was, "I did it on purpose." After that incident, Liam clearly trusted me even more. Now I didn't even need to ask. Liam would try to please me like a dog. "Have you heard a news story?" I asked, biting into an egg tart, watching Liam wipe down a table. "What kind of news story?" "It's about a genius." "Does the genius reach the peak of his life?" "No, the genius ends up on an operating table." I continued. "They say one day, an ordinary person suddenly became a genius." Liam's hand paused. He thought he'd soared to new heights, but who would have guessed he'd actually fallen into another abyss? A method that can turn an ordinary person into a genius. Imagine how many people that would attract. My voice was low and haunting. "Do you think, when he was lying on that lab table, he regretted his choice? If he'd just stayed an ordinary person, at least he could have lived a normal life." Liam's voice trembled. "So what happened to him in the end?" "In the end, the genius remained in the lab forever, becoming a part of it." Seeing Liam's face turn pale, I laughed. "You didn't actually believe that, did you?" "I was talking about a story from a novel." Liam breathed a sigh of relief. Then I added slowly, "But they do say art imitates life." "Who knows?" Sigh. "What's wrong with wanting to be a genius? If I were him, I'd show some gradual improvement beforehand, lay some groundwork." Liam looked pensive, so I helpfully reminded him. "Oh, by the way, the monthly exams are coming up. Remember to study hard." On the day of the monthly exams, as usual, I went to the top classroom for the exam, while Liam went to the lowest ranked one. The only sound in the exam hall was the scratching of pens on paper. Suddenly, there was a commotion outside. Word was a student got caught cheating. I smiled with satisfaction, dusted off my exam paper, and walked to the front, handing in my paper. Liam was caught cheating. There were cheat sheets in the crack of his desk. His eyes widened. How could this be? I only thought about it in my head. He had no memory of actually doing such a thing. I stood outside the dean's office, enjoying his helplessness. Of course, he didn't remember. The day he planted those cheat sheets, the good luck charm was in the fish tank. Getting caught cheating? That was only to be expected. If he hadn't been caught, that would have been a real surprise. Liam suddenly thought of me. "If you don't believe me, ask Maya." I thought about it at first, but she quickly talked me out of it. I walked in from the doorway of the dean's office, looking at his hopeful eyes. "Yes, you did want to cheat," I said, shaking my head. "I just didn't expect I couldn't talk you out of it. At this point, just admit it. You cheated." With witnesses and physical evidence, Liam couldn't deny it. His face flushed red, refusing to give in. I didn't cheat. By then, the exam was over, and curious students had gathered in circles outside the office. Did Liam really cheat? With his scores, why would he even bother cheating? If he suddenly aced it out of nowhere, something's fishy. Am I the only one who thinks he has character issues? I listened to the surrounding chatter, hoping this fire would burn even bigger. In my past life, when Liam falsely accused me of cheating, I went through the same thing. The students around me went from doubting my usual grades were legitimate to seriously believing I was morally corrupt. This feeling of being unable to defend oneself, no matter what you say. Liam could finally experience it too. Liam's cheating scandal ended with him just having to write an apology letter. Because the principal intervened. After all, for a principal, if his son's cheating scandal blew up, his career would be affected. To divert the students' attention, the school organized several university recruitment fairs. I saw Liam's mom's face again, right at a top university's booth. Liam's mom was holding a brochure, earnestly asking about admission requirements. Seeing Liam's mom's perfectly made-up face, I almost couldn't control the hatred welling up inside me. If Liam was the one who carried out the tragedy of my past life, then Liam's mom was the mastermind behind it. My mother's heart attack was her doing. If Liam's mom hadn't spread rumors all over the internet that I always cheated, using me as a contrast to hype up Liam's supposed genius emerging, my mom wouldn't have been so stressed by the online bullying that she had a fatal heart attack. In my past life, they had already swapped brains. They got everything they wanted. Why did they have to keep crushing me? Even going after my family? Thankfully, fate gave me another chance. This life, I'll make both of you, mother and son, pay the price. I remembered that in my past life, around this time, Liam's mom already had colon cancer. I nonchalantly approached Liam's mom. Sure enough, I caught a faint, strange odor coming from her. What's that smell? It stinks. Before I could say anything, the class jock walking by exclaimed it first. I deliberately chimed in, "You must have farted." Other students nearby also teased the jock, saying the pot was calling the kettle black. The jock looked extremely wronged. He started sniffing around, determined to find the real culprit. Liam's mom, seeing things weren't looking good, was about to slip away when the jock grabbed her sleeve. "Ma'am, it was you who farted." Liam's mom always cared a lot about her image. Being loudly accused of farting in front of so many people, the look she gave the jock could kill. Startled by her glare, the jock instinctively let go of her sleeve, and Liam's mom walked away without looking back. That afternoon, Liam found the jock to settle the score. "How dare you humiliate my mom?" The jock spread his hands. "How did I humiliate her? Farting is a normal human thing. I haven't even complained about her farting, and me taking the blame for it. You." Liam couldn't hold it in anymore. Seeing this, I quickly pulled Liam away. Is who farted really the most important thing right now? What else could it be? Your mom is sick. Liam's face darkened. I suppressed a laugh. I'm not cursing at you. I mean sick in the literal physical sense. Has your mom only recently started being like this? Besides farting a lot, does she also go to the bathroom frequently and often complain of abdominal pain? Liam thought about his mom's symptoms, and they matched what I said almost perfectly. I looked at Liam's face and concluded again. Your mom is sick. In my past life, I was also the one who noticed something was wrong with Liam's mom. I advised her to go to the hospital and get her farting problem checked out. But Liam's mom felt my reminder was an insult to her dignity. Liam also pointed at me and cursed me for being malicious. But privately, they secretly went to the hospital for a checkup, and the results were just as I'd said. Because Liam's mom's illness was discovered early, she recovered quickly after active treatment. I thought that since I'd sort of saved her life, her family would feel guilty for misunderstanding me. But the reality was the complete opposite. Liam said viciously, "My mom said you cursed her to get colon cancer. You want us to thank you? Dream on." My thoughts drifted back to the present. I looked at Liam in front of me. I enthusiastically advised him to take his mom to the hospital for a checkup over the weekend. Because of what happened before, Liam now deeply believed what I said. "Okay, I'll take her as soon as she gets back from her business trip." I nodded in support, and when I got home, I submerged the good luck charm at the bottom of the fish tank. Teasing the clueless little fish, I hummed a tune. Someone as kind as me would, of course, remind him about his mom's illness. It's just that if you forget, you can't blame me. After all, I lost my mother. You should lose yours too. That's only fair. The SATs are only a month away. Liam's mom probably only has that much time left too. I wonder if Liam will be able to handle both blows at the same time when it happens. The week before the SATs, Liam was called out of the classroom by the homeroom teacher. When he returned to his seat, he started packing his bag. "Maya, my mom. She's not going to make it." Liam's eyes were red. The cancer progressed very quickly. Without my reminder, Liam's mom missed the optimal treatment window. Now they could only passively wait for death to arrive. I patted Liam's shoulder without saying anything, sneering inwardly. Can't take this much already? This is just the beginning. The pain I suffered in my past life, you have to experience the exact same thing for it to count as an apology. Liam went straight home to take care of his mom. Everyone was touched by Liam's filial piety. Liam's not such a bad guy after all, huh? Yeah, he's even skipping the SATs to go home and care for his sick mom. What a real man. Listening to these comments, I pursed my lips. A real man? A real man who doesn't work hard himself and only thinks about swapping brains with others? But by now, I couldn't care less whether Liam's reputation was good or bad. Because the SATs were here. The homeroom teacher collected all our admission tickets. They would be handed out to us one by one outside the exam hall. Liam also arrived on time. Seeing him there, the other students were visibly surprised. Although the SATs are important. But the SATs happen every year. Shouldn't his terminally ill mother be the most important thing right now? I watched this scene unfold with a sneer, not surprised at all. The SATs happen every year, but the chance to swap brains with me? That only comes once. Would he give up these SATs for his mother? Absolutely not. He ignored the stares from those around him, walked straight towards me, and habitually glanced at my wrist. The good luck charm was still securely on my wrist. He let out a sigh of relief. Maya, you must know those questions inside out by now, right? I pointed to my own head, the meaning obvious. The bell rang. I turned and headed for my exam room. This time, no one could take what was mine. My exam was going smoothly. Liam's side, however, was a disaster. It was almost time to turn in the papers, and Liam's answer sheet was still blank. Because he had just finished reading a question. 7654321. Oh. He'd forgotten what the question was again. 30 minutes remaining in the exam. 15 minutes remaining. Final 5 minutes. Liam stared at his blank paper and finally snapped. No, this isn't right. It shouldn't be like this. He ripped up his exam paper, panting heavily. This must be fake, a dream. Yes, I'm dreaming. He looked around wildly, wanting to destroy this dream. The next second, Liam was pinned firmly to the ground. Quick, call a doctor. A student here has gone berserk. The moment I walked out of the exam hall, Liam was being strapped down with restraints and taken to the hospital. The wail of the ambulance sirens faded into the distance. I looked up at the sky. Light filtered through the treetops, casting dappled shadows on me. Some of the darkness within me was slowly disappearing. The next time I heard about Liam, it was an ordinary afternoon. The area downstairs from my building was deserted. I just went down to take out the trash and got kidnapped. Maya. Liam sat in front of me, a small knife in his hand lightly tracing my cheek and neck. I flinched. Liam, what do you want? Tell me, why did the brain swap fail? Liam's tone was chilling. You tampered with it, didn't you? He suddenly grabbed my hand, staring intently at the good luck charm. I asked blankly, what on earth are you talking about? What brain swap? Liam stared at me without speaking, as if trying to judge if I was telling the truth. Liam, when did you become like this? My voice was laced with disappointment. Can't you just work hard and be down to earth? Liam pointed to himself as if he'd heard a joke. Work hard? Do I need to work hard? My dad's the principal. My family's rich. There will never be a moment in my life when I need to try. I nodded. Just like how you got covered for when you cheated last time? Liam became even more arrogant. A little cheating is nothing. I even snatched someone else's admission spot to get into this school. My dad said, as long as I want something, he'll pave the way for me. I continued, so now you want to steal my brain, and your dad is supporting you behind the scenes? Liam laughed. Of course. My dad even picked this place for me. Someone like you from the gutter. What do you need a smart brain for? My wanting your brain is a blessing for you. Liam's expression turned serious, and he raised the knife again. Since the good luck charm didn't work, I'll just dig out your brain and swap it with mine directly. Thwip. The sound of a tranquilizer needle piercing skin. The police and doctors arrived just in time and saved me. I removed the hidden camera from my hair clip and turned it off. The internet must be exploding with outrage by now. Knowing Liam's personality, after such a disaster with the SATs, he was bound to do something desperate. His family was powerful and influential. I had no choice but to use myself as bait. To give Liam a chance to make his move, I always chose deserted times to go out. At the same time, my hair clip, bracelet, and hair tie were all equipped with one-touch panic buttons and hidden cameras. If he made a move, even if I were to unfortunately die, Liam would still be brought to justice. Maya, don't you ever do anything so risky again. My mother, who had rushed over, was in tears. She was the one whose heart ached the most. I hugged my mom back, tears streaming down my face too. The only person I felt I had wronged was my mother. But thankfully, everything was moving in the best possible direction. My livestream had caused a massive uproar online. These so-called elites thought they could just take whatever they wanted from us regular folks, even our brains. Regular folks were furious. Thanks to some online sleuths and their doxing, Liam's father's corrupt network completely collapsed. He was quickly dismissed from his position and investigated, facing probable jail time. And Liam, due to his previous episode of going berserk in the exam hall, was once again committed to a mental hospital for treatment. My mom said angrily, "That kid is getting off too easy. Isn't it illegal for a mentally ill person to harm someone?" I offered a reassuring smile. "Don't worry, I have other plans for his downfall." Just jail time? That's not enough punishment. I once again hung the good luck charm over the fish tank. Whenever the wind blew, the charm would skim the surface of the water. I counted the days, waiting for the right time. The funeral hall was filled with white mourning banners. Liam sat in a corner, staring blankly at the coffin. Out of humanitarian consideration, the mental hospital had specially permitted him to attend the funeral. With the good luck charm frequently dipping in and out of the fish tank, his memory had become severely jumbled. His mother's death was an even heavier blow to him. He now believed that the whole idea of the good luck charm swapping brains was just something his mom had made up to trick him. "Liam," I called out tentatively, holding a bouquet of white flowers. "What are you doing here? We were deskmates for so many years. It's only right that I come to see you." Liam thought of the past and his expression softened. Besides me, he didn't know who else he could talk to about how he felt. Liam said sorrowfully, "Maya, I don't have a mom anymore." I retorted, "Whose fault is that? I reminded you to take your mom to the doctor." Liam looked stunned. "You reminded me?" "Yes, you did remind me. It was me who forgot." I sighed. "You clearly had a chance to save your mom. Why didn't you?" Liam's expression gradually turned to despair. It was him. He had killed his mother. Watching Liam break down, I only found it amusing. So even people like him feel grief when they lose a loved one. I took a brand new good luck charm out of my bag. "This is from your classmates." Liam was about to refuse, but he froze when he saw the style of the charm. His voice was hoarse. "Where did you get this charm?" "Where did I get it?" His voice grew louder. Then he snatched my bag. A whole pile of good luck charms scattered all over the floor. Online, of course. Got them super cheap. I looked at Liam's shocked eyes and added, "Didn't you say the charms were powerful? I specifically searched for the same kind." Liam's voice began to tremble. "Then the one I gave you. Of course, I kept it safe at home. The one I've been wearing on my wrist was always one I bought online." My tone was light. Liam's teeth chattered. "So that's it. No wonder the brain swap didn't work." Seeing him like this, I felt even happier. "Aren't you going to ask how I kept it safe at home?" Liam's face turned cold. He clearly didn't want to respond. I didn't mind. I put it in the fish tank. Liam suddenly realized something. Those strange memories of his. You guessed it. Your brain swap was a success. Except, you swapped with a fish brain. 7 seconds of memory. Everything made sense now. Liam's eyes were bloodshot, as if he wanted to devour me. "You did this on purpose. You knew all along." I covered my mouth, feigning confusion. "Which thing are you talking about? Swapping you with a fish brain, making you get a reputation for cheating, or deliberately making you forget about your mom's illness?" Liam's head was already pounding with rage. "You bitch. I'll kill you." Just like in the previous life, Liam tried to shove me to the ground. I dodged towards a spot I had picked out earlier. Liam, however, stepped on the pile of good luck charms on the floor and fell heavily against a shelf. Candle flames flickered and fell. Then, just like in the past life, a raging fire erupted. The flames engulfed the funeral hall, burning away all sins. It's hard to say if it was fortunate or unfortunate. Liam didn't die, but he was locked away in the mental hospital forever. After all, who would believe something like a brain swap? I visited him once, bringing a good luck charm. In front of him, I burned the charm to ashes. Liam, 7 seconds of memory is too lenient for you. I want you to remember your mistakes forever. One overcast day, the TV news was playing an interview with me, the top SAT scorer. That brain should be mine. The top score should be mine. Ha 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 ha. Liam jumped from the roof of the mental hospital. And so, everything returned to dust. Geez. I stood at the university entrance, taking a photo with my mom. A gust of wind carried the sound of a father and son talking in the distance. If you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, you gotta work honestly. Try to cheat the system, and it'll bite you in the ass eventually. Yeah. What goes around, comes around. You always reap what you sow. The end.